So guys, today I wanted to show to you guys a little bit of the new mechanics and features that I didn't mention in other videos and are a little bit more hidden and everything with that. So we start off with the UAV feature. So now, once you have the UAV, you can try to have kind of a place for you to remain with the UAV looking, and then once you go back to the tank, you will have that camera down there showing where the battlefield is. It's a little bit bugged yet, but it is still working pretty well. That way the UAV is a lot more useful because you can have the picture-in-picture there camera basically showing where the targets are while you are driving. So you can put the UAV in a certain position, and then you can basically you know, look for targets while having the picture-in-picture there, which is a little bit more realistic, and it makes a little bit more sense on a usage of the UAV. Okay, so yeah, picture-in-picture basically for the camera of the UAV, which is pretty good. Like I said, it's a little bit bugged with the thermals and stuff, but it's there. So let me just show to you guys. Let me change it up here. Yeah, you can see right there, right? Yeah, you can even see me shooting there. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's there, right? So yeah, I'm shooting for my drone, for example. So yeah, very cool. The second one that I wanted to show to you guys is for aircraft. So now, do you remember how it was with this to actually look at the map and put basically the positions, the designator on the map? It was basically a lot of buttons and you have to click on them and then change it up. Now it's basically showing use only the mouse to actually create a warning, for example, or the position. You can use this to move the map. The zoom is the actual like you know, mouse wheel button, as you see, and you can move it up. And once you want to put the position in, you click the middle mouse button, right? So it makes a lot more sense now, and it is easier to control where the map is and add basically the designation point that I want, okay? Making it be a little bit easier to deploy certain types of weapons and everything, right? So it is pretty cool, and it is easier to use on an aircraft, in a ground battle or not, or whatever you want to use, you know. It is a little bit better, and you know, just an overall very cool feature that they added. It was something that they were talking about before, right? So right mouse button, you change it up, mouse wheel, zoom in and zoom out, and then the point in the mouse wheel button, clicking the mouse wheel button. So very cool. Then we have another feature that I don't think it's really implemented yet, but did you notice that if you put in the mouse in some of these radars, these new radars, you have TWS Plus right there. So what is TWS Plus? Well, basically it will be a more modernized TWS for more modern radars. It will be updating quicker in a more realistic way for more realistic radars that are not ESA or PESA yet, but they have some certain features. Like, for example, the Eurofighter has the TWS Plus, and the way that it works is basically that it will detect the target, and in a short manner, it will look back at the target and detect the target, basically, right? Making sure that the TWS soft locks are a lot quicker for you to actually, you know, look at them. So faster updates and stuff like that. I don't think it's really updated right now. It's really working properly how it's supposed to be. Everything is subject to change, of course, but yeah, that's how kind of the TWS Plus will work. Another thing while we are here is that the Abrams and also the Leopard 2s, they got new modules internally, right? So now, for example, they will have basically a bigger like module for the, or a more, you know, realistic module for the turret basket, basically, right? So it is a little bit different. So internal module placements have been supplemented and refined. A module for the under turret compartment basket has been added, which acts as a horizontal guidance module. So if you hit this, the turret will stop working, basically meaning that it is kind of a nerf for either like for the Abrams and also for the Leopard 2. So if we go to the Leopard 2s over here, you will notice how it has that kind of same idea over here. So it's a bigger target for you to hit and destroy, basically, right? But yeah, it's maybe a little bit more realistic, but for you that plays with these tanks, it's kind of a nerf, because you're gonna lose your turret more often, I would say, than before, isn't it? So yeah, another thing is that now you can recycle items. So if you go to your inventory over here, let me find, where is it? I have to find it. Where is it? Hold up. So apparently it's supposed to be here on the inventory, but I'm not finding, I don't think. But basically how it would be is that you would have a recycling kind of situation over here, and then you can recycle items that you are not going to use and turn them into another one. So a wager that I never use, or for example this one, Be the Best. I never use these things. I have 61 of them. This one, 65, 93 Jack of all trades. So I never use them. So instead of just being here, you would be able to recycle into boosters, for example, or other things, right? So this will be implemented. I don't think it's ready, because I'm being really dumb over here, but I don't think I see it. It's supposed to be here. It's supposed to be on the inventory. So I don't know. You tell me if I'm missing completely, but it's supposed to be somewhere over here. So yeah, but anyway. There are new profile stuff as well. So, for example, where is it? No, I don't want to change it up. Cancel. But now you can change it up, some of the new stuff over here. For example, vehicle collector, you can add some vehicles over here. You know, and stuff. You can have the Ace of Spades, which is basically showing how many vehicles you have spaded in depending on the branch and the country, which is pretty cool. Medalist, you can add some medals over here. For some reason it's not working, but yeah. Achievement hunter, so some achievements as well. So some new stuff for you to add in the profile picture. Another thing is the stat card for some of these shells and stuff. So now you will have more, basically a more detailed thing about the shell itself. So for example here, the EPFSDS or a hash, for example, it will have a better way of showing the important stuff like penetration, the muzzle velocity, TNT equivalent and stuff, but then it shows you like the caliber and everything in a better way, you know, angle of attack with a chance of a ricochet, the cumulative jet angle of attack, you know, how it will penetrate. So it's a little bit more explained. They talked a little bit about this in the stream, how for example heats, they have two ways of penetrating, with the HE effect and the actual like cumulative jet, you know, of the heat. So they can do damage in two ways, right? So now it's a little bit more explained there. So for example, high explosive fragmentation, so 16.9 millimeters. So it penetrates 400 on the actual, you know, jet, cumulative jet of high pressure there. But at the same time, for example, if you hit a turret that has more than 400 millimeters of, you know, armor, but it has on the underside of the shot less than 16.9 millimeters, you would penetrate. But now you know this, right? So you can actually know a little bit more about the shell and how you would do damage, and that's pretty cool. So rockets, smoke grenades, everything would have a little bit of a better, it's quality of life stuff, small things, but it would be basically better of you to know how the shells would react, you know, the penetration, everything. It's just a little bit of an easier way of having the important information basically on your face right there, right? So it's a little bit better. UI stuff, small stuff, but it is pretty cool. So the last thing that I wanted to show to you guys, it's the 3 new maps for ARB for the higher tiers. So we are here with Smolensk, for example. So you can see it's a very large map and a very cool one, actually. So we have 3 of them, Smolensk, Denmark, and Afghanistan. I'm gonna show to you guys a little bit because I love this type of thing. More maps means more variety of targets and everything. So you can see that we have the Smolensk map. So this is in Russia, I think. Is it in Russia? I have to, I don't remember exactly where it is. I mean, I'm in the other side of the world, right? But you can see that it's a very big map, see? And it has the modern airfields and stuff. So it is a pretty interesting map. You have the 2 airfields. So It's the normal Smolensk map, but for modern day. So it will be, these 3 maps will be appearing in the rotation for 10.7 onwards in BR, right? So you can see that it is a very big map, and I think it's very cool, very cool. Let's take a look on some of the others. I mean, it's just normal maps that we already have, but it is pretty interesting. The most fun one that I found over here is the actual... it's the Denmark one. I think this is the coolest one because this is a map that it's used a lot in, for example, simulator battles and some other situations, but it's never used in, it was never used in RRB, you know, and now it is. Look at this. So very, very cool. I think it's pretty cool that we have this map. It's one of the coolest maps in the game, I think. Look at this. We spawn in one of the islands, and then it's just, it's very, I think it's very cool, right? I think it's very cool. One thing that I have to complain over here is that, where are the carriers, Gaijin? Please, add carriers. You never know. I mean, this is for 10.7 onwards. You will see these aircraft flying around. So, where is a carrier for me to spawn in the normal RB maps with the F-18, for example? I never understand that. So, as you see, I don't need to show the whole map, but yeah, you spawn in this island. Where is the carrier? Right there, right, or something. So yeah, pretty big maps. They're not as large as the EC maps, but they are very cool. So yeah, hopefully we get more variety of these maps. We have some very cool maps in the War Thunder rotation, and sometimes they just don't use them for some reason. So it is pretty cool to have these. The more maps, the better. Like I said, more rotation means more variety. I just hope they add more variety of targets in the ground and stuff, so that if you want to play as a bomber or an attacker, you have a little bit of a difference. So yeah, this is the Denmark one. Let's take a look on the last one, which is the Afghanistan one, which we already had one in RRB or 2, but now we have you know, more. So here we have it, and it's completely different, as you see. One of them basically spawns in Mosahi, and we spawn in the mountains near Bagran, right? So it's very, very cool, because I love this map. I really do, because it's a very different and unique map. Why is that? Look at this. We are spawning in at 2,000 meters, man. That's like 6,000 feet. It's very high up. It's more than 6,000 even. It's like 7,000. So it's very, very high up. And that makes it up to be a different playstyle. You know, you have to be careful. The aircraft are not flying in the same manner that they do once you are in, you know, in the normal like altitudes and stuff of normal maps. So it's very high up. You have a city here, Kabul. It's a very big city, and it's just a very iconic place in terms of history and stuff. So it's very, very cool. Look at the mountains and stuff. And it is better. I gotta say, I love EC maps, but I understand why they're not adding too many of them. This is the perfect size for me personally, because it is just not as large as the EC, but it's not as little as the other map. So it's pretty large. You can still do BVR, you can still hide yourself in the mountains and do bombing missions. Again, hopefully in the future they spread more in the targets and stuff, and add different types of targets for each of these missions, just like they did with the Israeli map, right? Forgot the name of it, but yeah, the Israeli map, you know. So hopefully they do more of these type of maps and stuff, and it's just very, very cool. But basically this is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe. These are the things that were kind of hidden, or you know, not that were hidden, it's more coming from the actual like changelog, but it is just stuff that I didn't show before that I think are important enough, because most of them quality of life stuff, cool little features, and new maps. It's not a brand new aircraft that everybody is loving to see, but it is a good little thing that change the gameplay a little bit, right? So I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, as I was saying, leave a like, leave a comment, and bye guys, see ya.